So we're spectating randoms and solos on Rebirth, which is a brand new experience, which was added about a week ago. And I personally think that this probably gives us the best solos experience there is for the average player, because you get an automatic respawn. You don't even got to worry about going to the gulag. You get self-revive right off the bat. The map is a little bit smaller, so you get more reps in because it goes a little bit faster. We're going to talk about some of the differences. Obviously, there's a lot of differences between playing this, Caldera, and then Verdansk. Strategically, the way the maps are played, the metas, the weapon, everything is played totally different. Obviously, in this particular case, we landed with Diamati's, so that is probably one of the most broken guns to start off with right off the bat, because you can two-burst somebody. You get the upper chest, especially if they're not fully plated. But we have this player here, Raphael, probably going to rock floor loot for the most of the time. And that's what's cool about this particular version, is that you're able to get your respawn back, but most of the people you're going to go against are going to be rocking floor loot, at least until that free loadout drops, because it's a little bit more challenging with such a condensed map to, one, get the money, two, to buy a loadout, wait for that loadout to drop and not be contested by somebody else. So this gives it a little bit more of a BR feel, even though I know that sounds weird to say, especially since the map is much smaller. You're more than likely going to run into people more often, but with floor loot, because of the way scenarios work. So you got to go ahead and play it up. This guy's actually seems like he's getting a good hold of this area. It's a little hard to tell if you're killing somebody that has a respawn. As you can see right here on the bottom left, they do have a respawn active. And pretty much, if you haven't had a chance to play this yet, how it works is you get a guaranteed respawn up until the 4th zone or whatever. And if you end up dying, when you come back in, as soon as you touch the ground, a respawn timer restarts, and you can lower this by getting kills, looting, buying stuff at the buy station, and when it goes back to 0, you get another respawn. So it's kind of like buybacks, but without having to worry about money and being able to just grab money. There's a timer in place, so it can be a little bit rough on regaining and things like that. But I overall like the dynamic that they have with this mode that allows you to not necessarily have to camp or play super passive. And the wins, I would say they're a little bit harder to come by in general compared to normal Rebirth, just because the zone moves so fast. You're not really going to get set up that well. This person just owns this building right now. It's theirs. Let's see if, okay, so somebody did get a loadout over there. They still got about 20 seconds for the next loadout. He's marking this dude that's going to land on the new ship. I like a lot of the changes they've done. The balloons, they're not every single map. It's the exact same. They added these weapon swap things. I would have considered maybe looking into that. As you get your loadout, you could always swap it into here. And we're not going to see what they get, but you'll see it drop out. They get a gun, some ammo, a throwing knife, whatever. And then the free loadout drops. And because of the change that they made it where it spawns within 50 meters closer, you don't have to go as far to get that loadout. So you can see it's up here by the buy station. It's got to work their way back up to the top there, and then they'll be good to go. I would be trying to get another $800 if this person's trying to play a little bit more aggressive or just wants to know where people are, and then they can go ahead and get a UAV. Somebody did land on the roof there. There was probably a call out enemy nearby or something. This guy's pretty good aim. Obviously, the railing looked like it took away some aim assist there. But there's so many changes that I'm liking with this mode. And it's kind of leading me to believe that, kind of like Caldera, it just didn't come out as popular as maybe they thought, and they're going to just double down on Rebirth, or maybe the strategy was to work on Rebirth, because even though they didn't give us a new Rebirth map, they did enough changes to make it feel new, and they didn't ruin it, so it's like you literally have nothing to play. Oh, such a good play there. You got to go ahead and play it up. The guy probably won't chow. I would have gone for maybe a stim play, because then you could have came out, and you still got a plate. He's behind the door. You still got a plate, man. If he wasn't going to wait, you got to plate up. The guy went downstairs. You were a little bit rough with your shots. The guy ended up killing you. He has a better DPS weapon at that close range. If you hit your shots, the Owen gun's kind of broken. We'll see if that guy comes back. So we got Comic Soda here with 4 kills. And I think the average number of kills is probably going to be much higher in these solo games because the engagements are much closer. And why that's important, even if you're a fan of the typical Caldera map. Oh, look at that dude. Hi. Damn. He's like, choop. Because one thing that people don't realize is if you're actually trying to improve, you need to increase your number of engagements. A lot of times what you see with the below average players, they're scared to take engagements. It's okay for you to suck, and just know that you suck so that you can actually work on improving. If you don't get in engagements, you're not going to improve. Like this guy already has 8 engagements. He's on a burner. He'll probably get close to 15 to 20 kills if he maintains his pace. Somebody's on the buy station. I think they called in maybe what they call in. Maybe they brought out the combat bow, so it popped up, or he fired his gun. But either way, they were there. Guy's rocking the Mac 10. But what I was getting at is that when you play super passive, good kill there. When you play super passive on Caldera, I could land, not see anybody, land in a remote area of the map, do some contracts, slowly move into the zone while avoiding conflicts, and maybe get into the top 10, and then maybe get into 1 or 2 engagements, win 1, maybe lose 1, and maybe win the match. Super casual, get 3 engagements. And the reality of it is I only got really 3 reps in, versus somebody who's playing super aggressive. They're going to get maybe 8 to 10 reps in, which is 2 to 3 times more as me. So that over time, with more experience, oh, that sucks. He got sniped from the side. He should be able to get himself up though. You're going to get those reps so you can survive, you know? Hopefully he doesn't get sniped here or hit from somebody random that he's not expecting. He could get a self-revive. Fire sales here, so that would be free. And then he could get a discounted UAV, but activate the UAV, and then go ahead and buy this. Oh, there's 2 people with him. The guy might be up at the stairs right here. You kind of got to just leave that alone. You have low ground. Oh, there's one. Nice. Good shot. He's rocking, ooh, a little bit of a different setup on that. No suppressor, so it's a little bit faster aim down sight. And that's usually what separates the bridge, separates the gap of what determines usually a good player, an average player, and below average player. Is usually below average player just doesn't get as many engagements, because obviously if you die, you're out and you have to restart, versus a good player will run into more players. But also the tempoing allows you to run into more players with higher frequency. So you just become better, faster over time. And that's one of those things. So this is pretty interesting. Obviously, this is kind of what was expected. We stayed at control the entire time. And that's one thing that's drastically different than Caldera. Normally, because the zone is so big, you will shift gradually. That guy's sniping. And that's probably the guy that originally sniped him. He doesn't really have a self-revive. He knows that there's 2 in that area. One by the boat a little bit further, and then the other one that was sniping. Somebody is landing nearby. And he's like, oh, there he is. Oh, confidence in that shot. He's going to change the angle. Nice. And he still got sniped. He did the right thing. The guy just sniped him. He changed angles. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but he made the right play. And that's sometimes what, another thing that people, it helps to work through your thought process is, in that scenario, could he have done it differently? He could have gone right and then repeat the same angle and maybe got the snipe off. But the right thing to do was to change the angle, and he will have another revive, so maybe he's going to go ahead and come back. This guy has 6 kills, got demolished by Comic Soda. He made it back into the lobby, and they're going to just fight each other. So this zone is a hard pool, top prison, very rough, 9 other players. There he is. He's outside. You should be able to get him. Nice. Oh, he went for the melee, almost. There it is. So this area should mostly be clear. Doesn't really have money to work with. There's not really any contracts in the area. You could pick up some of those guns down low. You could pick up these guns and then trade them into the weapon shop, and that could get you money. That could be a brand new strategy that's brought to this game mode that didn't exist before. You could pick up other people's guns and trade them in, especially if they're annoying. They won't be able to have guns when they come back. Obviously, you got to sit on that little weapon swap station, so it could be a little uncomfortable. There was a heartbeat sensor. Maybe could have picked that up just to scan the area really quickly. There are some things in the moment that maybe you don't realize that you could go back and rethink, hey, you know what? You know, but now that those are new, it's like, well, it's not part of your thought process. But imagine he could have gone there, maybe turned in both that guy's Car 98 and the Mac 10 that were fully kitted, and maybe get like $3 grand, a UAV, a gas mask, a portable little gas area or whatever the heck. I can't remember the name of them right now. But you know what I mean? So there's a lot of opportunity with those those little weapon stations that I don't think people have fully realized just yet. Which, you know, if you're close to a buy station, it works out conveniently. You got to play super passive at this point just because there's no respawn. And this is where you got to be able to change the gears. And I think what happens is generally lower skilled players and average players play like it's end zone the entire game versus you should play to get better. And then as soon as it's end game and then there's opportunity to win, then you play a little bit more conservative and passive. And what'll happen is you'll get more reps in the beginning. You'll get better practice at that, which will allow you to make it to the end game more often. Over time, you'll improve. And then eventually, once you're in more end game situations, you can improve at the end game. And I think that's one thing that's really great about players like It's Iron or OP Marked or Shaded Step. A lot of these guys that were leaderboard. Oop, he just fell down. Nice. Leaderboard grinders. They camped a little bit for wins for so long. They got so many engagements end game that allows you to get those reps in so you can work on that muscle memory. So there's one to the left above you. He's coughing. You got to get out of there. They might chase you down. You got to get on the wall here. Nice. I don't know where the other player... Oh, you got to beam him because the guy has his back to you. This could be good too. Oh, they're both over there. That's the last one. He's going to catch him. Oh, easy win. Easy win. He was on the left on the mini-map. Oh, he jumped down, I think. You could have got him, I think. Oh, there he is. He was over by the crate. You can see him on the mini-map. He's got to pull towards you. Just hopefully he doesn't have a sniper and you're good. Hopefully you don't have a dead silence or whatever. You're still inside the building too. So you're going to have a huge advantage here. This guy, very little chance they lose. So that guy's going to be underneath you. You're still in this corner. You can hear him coughing. It's going to shrink. You don't have a gas mask. But it looks like they've taken damage, so they might not even have plates. There he is right below you. Oh, nice. Donezo with the execution. GG's. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Appreciate the support. Thank you for watching as always. Have a great day.